Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the NBA in 2001, the greatest year to probably ever exist. The year Iverson won MVP, the year Tracy McGrady became Tracy McGrady, the year Vince Carter became Vince Carter, the year the Lakers was pretty much a dynasty. It was pretty much the Lakers, and then it was everybody else. Like let's just keep it real. It was the Lakers, and then it was everybody else. There was nobody else out here, bro. So this was definitely one of them years where you just had to be there, bro. This is probably one of the greatest NBA seasons to ever fucking exist. Yeah. Good times, man. Good times. But anyways, though, without further ado, man, let's get right into this, man. The 2001 NBA season. Let's get it.
Let's take it back to the year 2001. The first Harry Potter film was taking the world by storm.
The
original iPod was released for the very first time, and too many of us were all singing, "Let the dogs out!"
No, the fuck we was not, bro. No, the fuck we was not. I was one of them few kids that hated this song. Everybody loved this song. I was one of the few kids that hated this song.
Meanwhile, back on the hardwood, 2001 saw individual talents emerge to define the league.
Oh yeah, my Bucks finally came up. My Bucks finally came up. My Bucks finally came up. I was proud of them, but they got knocked out by Allen Iverson, so I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it though. I was like, because either way, it was either we was gonna lose to Kobe and Shaq, or they was gonna lose to Kobe and Shaq. Either way, it didn't matter. Y'all was gonna lose to Kobe and Shaq regardless.
We saw average players become stars, stars become icons, and icons become legends. Join us as we do a deep dive into this critical year in the NBA in the year 2001, a year in review. The Los Angeles Lakers were fresh off their first NBA championship victory, and life in LA couldn't be sweeter. With Kobe and Shaq taking some much needed time off, other NBA stars, headlined by Kevin Garnett, Vince Carter, and Jason Kidd, were in Sydney, Australia, looking to win gold for the United States. Team USA would end up winning gold, but the real iconic moment was when Vince Carter, after intercepting an outlet pass, raced to the rim, jumped over a 7-foot 2-inch center from France, and proceeded to throw down a thunderous dunk on his poor head. It was immediately labeled the dunk of death, and is widely considered the greatest, most famous, and probably most disrespectful dunk of all time. As the 2001 NBA season was gearing up, the Lakers were primed to go back-to-back, and pretty much everyone agreed. Shaq was just as dominant as he was last season when he won league MVP, and Kobe took the biggest step of his career in 2001. But ironically, this is where the core of the issue began. Kobe was ready to take over as the supreme leader in not just LA, but the entire league. He was on a mission to prove he was the league's best singular talent and the heir apparent to Michael Jordan, and Shaq was not pleased. In Shaq's mind, the Lakers, the NBA, Hollywood was all still his. Both Kobe and Shaq would take jabs against one another in the media. Kobe calling Shaq overweight and unfit to lead, while Shaq called Kobe selfish, egotistical, and not a team player. It would get awkward for the NBA champs, but the results on the court were undeniable. Shaq continued to dominate inside, Kobe was blossoming into the league's premier two-way guard, and no one seemed close to challenging their throne. The only thing standing between a back-to-back championship was themselves. Meanwhile, as the rest of the league was vying for a chance to steal the spotlight from the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, an improbable figure broke through the clutter to steal the spotlight.
Play the motherfucking music. The motherfucking GOAT, Allen motherfucking Iverson, nigga.
In size, but gigantic in heart, tenacity, and sheer will, Allen Iverson was putting on an absolute show in Philadelphia. He was the epitome of everything the residents and city of Philadelphia represented. Hard work, no fear, and all heart. He was in a league filled with giants, but when the dust settled, he led the league in scoring and willed a pretty mediocre Sixers team to the best record in the East and more. The 2001 NBA season also saw the birth of one of the league's most exciting players of all time, Tracy McGrady. After spending the first 3 years of his career under Vince Carter's shadow in Toronto, he signed with the Orlando Magic in the offseason and catapulted himself into a top 5 talent in the NBA. And I mean that. In 2001, from a sheer talent perspective, it was Kobe, it was Shaq, it was AI, it was Duncan, and then it was T-Mac. He leapfrogged Vince Carter, Kevin Garnett, and Chris Webber this season. He took a pretty terrible injury-riddled Orlando team to a respectable 7th seed in the West, and in a landslide, he would win Most Improved Player. He also made his first of many All-Star selections in 2001. As All-Star Weekend approached, the East versus West game was looking like it was going to be a lopsided affair. The West looked too dominant. It featured the most dominant big men in the game today: Chris Webber from Sacramento, Tim Duncan from San Antonio, and Kevin Garnett from Minnesota.
Look, they were dominant, but they rated to that man Allen Iverson and Stephon Marbury. Let's not forget. Let's act like Stephon Marbury didn't hit them big shots at the end of this game. I remember this one. This is arguably in my top 5 for most like memorable All-Star games ever. Like if we talk All-Star games, it's like my most memorable one. This is like the one I remember a lot, bro. This was a great All-Star game, bro, but mainly it's for Iverson, bro. Yeah.
All on one team. Even with Shaq injured, you had those dominant bigs against a marginal at best Eastern Conference front court, which featured Antonio Davis, Anthony Mason, and Dikembe Mutombo. No one expected much, and by the time the fourth quarter got underway, it was already a 20-point lead for the West. And then, as fate would have it, and as Iverson had been doing all season long for Philly, he never lost that grit. He helped rally the East back with help from a strong defensive performance from Dikembe Mutombo and timely threes in the final minutes from Stephon Marbury.
Stephon Marbury came up clutch like
to win the game in what is considered the last and greatest All-Star game in NBA history.
Facts.
Iverson went on to win the night's most lucrative prize, the All-Star Game MVP. And as you could probably...
Side note, they need to go back to them just wearing their regular jerseys in the All-Star game. I don't like the All-Star jerseys. I understand they got to do it for dollar sakes, for money sakes, because if they do it like this, they ain't gonna make no money, because it's like, what's the purpose? I can just buy the regular jersey instead of the All-Star edition jersey. But for this one in particular, bro, they need to just go back to this, bro, for the All-Star game, bro. Next year's All-Star game shouldn't have a East and West jersey. It should just be who you play for jersey. But then again, I heard through the grapevines that they gonna do USA versus international players for the All-Star game next year. But it's like, what if those international players get injured? What if it's not that many international players? Just do East and West. God damn, it's not that hard. Just keep the formula simple, bro. This is what I mean, bro, by Adam Silver is probably the worst commissioner to ever fucking exist, bro. They need to fire him immediately, expeditiously. Go back to East versus West. Let these niggas wear their team jerseys instead of them wearing the fucking East and West jersey made by fucking Nike, which is always going to be fucking terrible. Nike ain't made no good jerseys since they took over for the NBA. Fuck out of here. Just go back to the simple East versus West. Let them wear their team jerseys and let them go crazy.
Probably imagine he wasn't satisfied with just that. After All-Star Weekend, Iverson and his crew in Philly were continuing their improbable run in the regular season. One of the most underrated trades of the season took place in February 2001 when Atlanta traded Dikembe Mutombo to the Sixers, who were in desperate need of a big defensive anchor at the time as they eyed a run at the title. Later that year, Mutombo would go on to win Defensive Player of the Year. Sixers coach Larry Brown would go on to win Coach of the Year, and steady Sixers veteran Aaron McKie will go on to win Sixth Man of the Year. But the Sixers were still the Allen Iverson show, as he would go on to win league MVP, becoming the shortest and lightest MVP in league history, standing 6 foot, 160 pounds. He was wowing crowds day in and day out, reminding all of us that heart can beat out height every single night. He was becoming a phenomenon, not just on the court, but off the court as well. To recover from a right elbow injury that year, Iverson began sporting an arm sleeve, and as the years and decades passed, this arm sleeve would take on a whole new meaning. That arm sleeve would go on to become a fashion statement that is still prevalent in the NBA today. Think about all the players, both past and present, who wear arm sleeves now. Notably LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant later in his career. It was Iverson in 2001 who brought this trend to the game first, and everyone else followed. This is just a mere microcosm of his effect on not just the league, but culture in general. Despite this endearing Philly story and Iverson's rise to dominance, the league was still run by the Lakers. And as the playoffs approached, it wasn't a matter of who would win the title, it was a matter of who would come in second place. In the East, the Toronto Raptors were looking to make some noise. Featuring Air Canada himself, Vince Carter, Toronto met the Sixers in round 2 of the playoffs, and it was a battle of 2 of the best guards in the NBA, Iverson and Carter. They would exchange 50-point games against one another, each one showcasing his brilliance night after night. If it wasn't Iverson's relentless attacks at the basket on one night, then it was Carter's aerial assault and scoring prowess on the other. The series would come down to the final seconds, and unfortunately for Toronto, Carter would miss a very makeable game-winning jump shot to lose the series in 7 to Philly. The Milwaukee Bucks were also an underrated team in 2001 who made it all the way to the Eastern Conference.
One time for the city, man. Had to do it one time for the city, man. One time for the city, man. 414, that's all I know. 262, what it do, nigga? Milwaukee, stand up, nigga.
Finals. The Bucks featured a very strong nucleus, headlined by sharpshooter Ray Allen, steady floor general Sam Cassell, and big dog Glenn Robinson. Milwaukee had the horses to punch their ticket to the finals, but like he's done all season long, Allen Iverson would just not let up. The story in the Western Conference was less exciting. The Lakers were blazing through these playoffs at a historic rate, sweeping through Portland, Sacramento, and San Antonio. Even with San Antonio claiming home court advantage during the regular season, the Lakers were just too much. Everyone thought that the Spurs had somewhat of a chance because of their twin towers, Tim Duncan and David Robinson, balancing the dominance of Shaq, but the Spurs had no answer for Kobe. In Game 1 in San Antonio, Kobe ripped away San Antonio's soul with a 45-point masterpiece. The Lakers would go on to complete that sweep, which included a 39-point victory in Game 3 and a 29-point victory in Game.
I said this in the last video. Before they went ahead and got Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, their team was full of like damn near players that was damn near on the verge of retirement. So that Lakers team was pretty much young at that point. They was just young and spry and in their prime. So it was like, even if you could handle Shaq, you still had Kobe to deal with. You still had Phil Jackson and his schemes. That's too much to handle. So of course the Spurs was gonna get handled. This is before Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili came into the fray. So shit, yeah, of course, San Antonio wasn't gonna be at their best around this time.
Game 4. The finals between Philly and LA was looking like it was going to be a Lakers sweep also.
Yep.
Philadelphia had no answers for Shaq and no answers for Kobe. But what the Lakers, the NBA, and the entire world failed to realize in Game 1 was that the Lakers also had no answer for the answer, Allen Iverson. Game 1 of the 2001 finals is considered the greatest upset in NBA history and is widely considered the greatest final performance by any one player. And as you can probably guess, that one player was Allen Iverson. The visiting Sixers outdueled the Lakers on their home court in an overtime shocker. Iverson was the best player on the court that night, finishing with 48 points. Amongst all of Iverson's iconic moments in 2001, none was more iconic than this.
Yes, sir. Ty Lue, sit your goofy ass down, nigga. step back.
Allen Iverson makes it 103.
After LA's Game 1 meltdown, unfortunately for Philly fans, that was it for Iverson and the Sixers. The Lakers would go on to win the next 4 games and go back-to-back as champions, truly solidifying the Shaq-Kobe Lakers as a team for the ages. The 2001 Lakers proved to be one of the most dominant teams in NBA history as they ended up going 15-1 in these playoffs. This was a truly historic run that not only highlighted the Lakers' dominance this season, but it also shows just how incredible Allen Iverson was in 2001. Against all the odds, the fact that he was able to assign LA's one and only loss in these playoffs on the grandest of stages, the NBA Finals, is truly remarkable. Many put these 01 Lakers amongst the greatest teams in NBA history, along with the 86 Celtics, the 96 Bulls, the 2013 Miami Heat, and the 2017 Warriors. The 01 Lakers featured a still dominant as ever Shaq, the ultra-talented, ruthless, and young Kobe, and a steady core of shooters, defenders, and playmakers. I got the 01 Lakers over any team in NBA history.
I kind of got them as that too. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. As much I don't know. You can't doubt Chicago. You can't doubt Chicago. Larry Bird was a monster in his prime. The Warriors, they beatable. The Warriors are beatable. I don't know why people keep saying the Warriors are not beatable. The Warriors are very beatable, bro. They ain't got no bigs, bro. Throw it down low to Shaq and let him go to work, bro. It's over. It's over. The only thing the Warriors can do is foul Shaq. And even if you foul him, it's not going to do nothing. You're just going to Cause then what you going to do when you ain't got no bigs on the floor that can guard Shaq? Exactly. And let's not act like the Lakers don't play lockdown defense. They have lockdown defenders. So Steph Curry and them not getting them shots off easily. They're going to fight for them. And the Lakers were physical. You think Kobe's going to let Steph, you think Kobe's a young Kobe on top of that? You think a young Kobe going to let Steph get off? Fuck no. Fuck no. But I digress though. But anyways though, that's just gonna about do it for this one. 01 was definitely, in my personal opinion, 01 was probably like was like the best fucking year of the 2000s by far. I want to say I want to say 06 was another good year. I want to say it was. I definitely want to say 06 was like in second place for sure. I believe 01 and 06, those are like the top 2 years. 01 and 06. 04 is up there as well. 04 is definitely up there as well. But I think 01 and 06 were probably like the 2 best years of the 2000s. If you want to say 08, that's cool. If you want to say 09, that's cool. Other than that, though, yeah, this is probably the best year by far. Even if the finals ended in 5 games, it was still a spectacular finals. And yeah, that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. We on the 2002. I see you there. You already see who in the thumbnail, so y'all already know. So without further ado, I'll see y'all the next one. Till then, bye.